Wallone, born circa 1986, is a Reuters journalist and children's author who, with fellow reporter Kyoso Ono, was arrested on December 12, 2017 in Myanmar because of their investigation into the Indin massacre. A police witness testified that their arrest was a case of entrapment. It is believed to have been intended to intimidate journalists. The case received international attention. During 2018, Wallone and Kyoso Ono received a number of international awards, including being listed among Time magazine's Persons of the Year for 2018. They have been the subject of human rights appeals by Amnesty International, PEN America, and Reporters Without Borders. The 2019 UNESCO/Guillermo Cano Press Freedom Prize was awarded to Wallone and Kyoso Ono on April 11, 2019 for their courage and commitment to freedom of expression. On April 16, 2019, the two journalists were awarded the Pulitzer Prize for International Reporting. They were released on May 7, 2019 after a presidential amnesty. Wallone was born to a family of rice farmers in the village of Kin Payat, in the Shwebo district of Myanmar, north of Mandalay. Around 2004 he moved to Molamine, cleaning and preparing food in exchange for lodging at a Buddhist monastery where his uncle was a monk. In 2010 he and one of his brothers moved to Yangon, Myanmar, where they began a photo service business. He has also been active in volunteer and charity work. Wallone began working as a reporter for local newspapers such as the weekly People's Age. He joined the Myanmar Times in 2014, and the Reuters news agency in 2016. Wallone was always thoughtful and conscientious, and very committed to his work as a journalist. Thomas Geen, Myanmar Times. Wallone reported on internal conflicts in Myanmar under military rule, on the historic election of Nobel Peace Prize winner Aung San Suu Kyi in 2015, and on the murder of well-known politician Koni in 2017. In 2017, Wallone and Kyoso Ono reported on the movement of hundreds of thousands of Rohingya from Myanmar into Bangladesh, in response to actions of the Burmese military. The Reuters team braved considerable danger to document the atrocities perpetrated against the Rohingyas. But for its efforts, one of the biggest humanitarian disasters of our times would not have been made known to the world. SOP8. Following attacks on the Rohingya people of Rakhine State, Myanmar, in late August 2017, and the burning of Rohingya homes in the hamlet of Indin, many Rohingya villagers fled to the mountains. On September 1, 2017, armed soldiers and paramilitaries detained 10 Rohingya men who reportedly had gone to the beach to look for food. The next morning they were shot, killed, and buried in a mass grave. Wallone and Kyoso Ono were investigating the mass grave found in Indin. They interviewed Buddhist villagers and security personnel and gathered both verbal accounts and photographic evidence of the massacre. On December 12, 2017, members of Myanmar's police force arrested Reuters journalists Wallone and Kyoso Ono at a restaurant in Yangon after inviting them to dinner. According to the journalists, they were immediately arrested after being presented documents by policemen they had never met before. The police made no reference to the restaurant meeting in their press releases, stating that the journalists were arrested outside on the outskirts of Yangon. The pair was charged with possessing classified documents in violation of the Colonial-Era Official Secrets Act, which carries a possible sentence of 14 years in prison. Reuters called for their immediate release, insisting that they were arrested for their investigation of the mass grave found at Indin, prior to their arrest. After the court's final hearing of their case on February 8, 2018, Reuters released all the findings in their journalists' investigation. Myanmar Police Captain Moya Naing was arrested for violating Myanmar's Police Disciplinary Act on the same day the journalists were arrested, called as a witness of the prosecution at a preliminary hearing on April 20, 2018. He testified that he and his colleagues were ordered by their superiors to entrap the journalists by providing them secret documents at the restaurant where they had agreed to meet two policemen. He also said that he and other officers were threatened with imprisonment by their superiors if they did not carry out the arrests. A police spokesman later commented that Naing spoke based on his own feelings and that his testimony cannot be assumed as true. Naing's family was evicted from police-accommodated housing on April 21, 2018, and Naing was sentenced to a year in prison on April 29, 2018 for violating the Police Disciplinary Act. On May 2, 2018, a judge deemed Naing's testimony reliable and rejected a request from the prosecution to classify him as a hostile witness. Naing was allowed to provide further information a week later on May 9, 2018. testifying in court that Police Brigadier General Tin Keo orchestrated the plan to entrap Wallone and Kyoso and that he threatened Nang and his colleagues with arrest if they did not get Wallone. In his testimony, Nang told the judge overseeing the proceedings, "I know that Police Brigadier General Tin Keo instructed Police Lance Corporal Nang Lean to give Wallone documents related to our frontline activities in order to have him arrested." A police spokesman later commented that Brigadier General Tin Keo had no reason to do such a thing, and Lance Corporal Nang Lean later denied that such orders were given to him. On July 9, 2018, a court charged the two journalists with obtaining secret state documents in violation of the Official Secrets Act, taking the case to trial after a period of preliminary hearings that lasted 6 months. The pair pleaded not guilty to the charges and vowed to testify and prove their innocence. On September 3, 2018, the two journalists were found guilty by a court and sentenced to 7 years in prison. The sentence prompted condemnation from several members of the international community. The U.S. ambassador to Myanmar, Scott Marcial, who called the decision deeply troubling. British Ambassador Dan Chugg said that the United Kingdom and the European Union were extremely disappointed by the verdict and that the judge in the case ignored evidence and Myanmar law. The state councillor of Myanmar, Aung San Suu Kyi, defended the court's ruling, saying, "If we believe in the rule of law, they have every right to appeal the judgment and to point out why the judgment was wrong, if they consider it wrong." On November 5, 2018, an appeal was filed by the journalists' lawyers, who stated that the court ignored compelling evidence of a police setup, serious due process violations, and the prosecution's failure to prove any of the key elements of the crime. Contrary to Myanmar law, it shifted the burden of proof from the prosecution to the two journalists Wallone and Kyoso. The appeal was scheduled to be heard on December 24, 2018. On January 11, 2019, the journalists' appeal was rejected. On February 1, 2019, the journalists filed another appeal with the Supreme Court of Myanmar. The Supreme Court heard the case on March 25, 2019. On April 23, the appeal was again rejected. The case has been taken up by Amnesty International, by PEN America, and by Reporters Without Borders, who have appealed on behalf of Wallone and Kyoso. The arrest of the two reporters is believed by Amnesty International to be an attempt by the authorities to silence investigations into military violations and crimes against Rohingya in Rakhine State, and to scare other journalists away from doing the same. On May 7, 2019, the journalists were both released from prison upon receiving a pardon from President Win Myint. At the time of their release, the two had been in custody for over 500 days. Kara Darcy and Amal Clooney were involved in securing their release. Wallone has won a number of international awards, including the following: 2016, Honorable Mention for Excellence in Reporting Breaking News, jointly to Radko Thursday, Zarnifio, Wallone, Guy Dinmore, Yola Verbruggen. SOPA 2016 Awards for Editorial Excellence, the Society of Publishers in Asia, SOPA. 2017, Honorable Mention for Excellence in Reporting Breaking News, jointly to Simon Lewis, Wallone, Yimoli, Antoni Slodkowski, and Michelle Nichols. SOPA 2017 Awards for Editorial Excellence, the Society of Publishers in Asia, SOPA. 2018, SOPA Award for Public Service Journalism, jointly to Antoni Slodkowski, Wallone, Simon Lewis, Krishna and Das, Andrew R.C. Marshall, Shu Nating, Wayakai, and Simon Scar. SOPA 2018 Awards for Editorial Excellence, the Society of Publishers in Asia, SOPA. 2018, included in Time magazine's Persons of the Year, which recognized several persecuted journalists as guardians in a war on truth. The following 2018 awards were received jointly with Kyoso. 2018, Foreign Affairs Journalism category and Global Investigation of the Year at the British Journalism Awards. November 26, 2018, Journalists of the Year at Foreign Press Association Media Awards, London. 2018, PEN/Barbie Freedom to Write Award, PEN America and Edwin Barbie Charitable Trust. 2018, Osborne Elliott Prize for Excellence in Journalism, Asia Society. 2018, International Journalists of the Year, One World Media Awards. 2018, James Foley Medill Medal for Courage in Journalism, Northwestern University. 2018, Don Bowles Medal, Investigative Reporters and Editors, IRE. 2018, Obashan Press Freedom Award, National Press Club, United States, and Journalism Institute. 2019, UNESCO/Guillermo Cano World Press Freedom Prize. 2019, Pulitzer Prize. While Owen has written several children's books, which are published in both English and local languages. In 2015, he wrote The Gardener, to promote tolerance, harmony, and care for the environment. While imprisoned in insane prison, while Owen has written a children's book, JJ the Journalist, edited by Shumi and illustrated by Kargyi. The main character is a young boy with insatiable curiosity who looks for answers when plants and animals in his village start dying. The intention of the books is to encourage critical thinking in children and introduce them to the profession of journalism. The book was commissioned and published by Eipwin Rizon, director of the Third Story Project. The nonprofit's mission is to produce and distribute free books to disadvantaged children in Myanmar. While Owen helped to found the nonprofit in July 2014. Work on a second JJ book, this time including a strong female protagonist, is underway. While Owen's wife, Pani Aimun, has been his intermediary with the outside world while he is in prison. Their first child was born in August 2018. Pani Aimun and Kyoso wife, Chitsu Win, have both experienced harassment since their husband's arrest. References